What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map. In the yellow color, playing as Hades. His name is Gold Lion. His partners today in the purple color playing as Zeus. His name is Player. And finally, rounding out this team in the blue color, playing as Gaia. His name is Squash. Pausing the game, his name is DoD Fox. But together, this team makes up a very, very strong team of Fade 2, F2. Their opponents today, in the green color, playing as Hades. His name is Shelty. In the red color, playing as Zeus. His name is Scardy. And finally, rounding out the team in the sky blue color, playing as Ra. His name is Fox. And together they make the team the Deities of Death, DoD. The map is Mediterranean, and this is the grand final of the Phoenix Reborn Clan Championship. It's been a crazy, absolute crazy 2 months since the start of this tournament. So many incredibly good games have been played, upsets, all of the good stuff has happened in this tournament. People have been playing out of their mind. I don't think we've seen this level of team games being played for quite some time, and it's been an absolute huge and amazing experience to be watching all these guys going at it. We do see that this map is the map that Fade 2 decided to pick here for their home map in the grand finals here. As DoD have not lost yet in this tournament, they do receive a slight advantage going into this finals. And that advantage comes in the shape of game number 3 being on DoD's home map as well. So in this series, DoD gets 2 home maps, which will give them a slight advantage going forward. And we'll see what they're going to try and come up with to find an advantage where that's concerned. For those of you who are in the live stream right now, we are running a charity drive for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. There is no prize pool for this tournament. I'm putting in $200 for the charity, but every single little bit of support that you guys give is going to be a real nice thing for those kids, and we can really try and make a change here and at least have a little bit of get a little something back, you know. So let's enjoy this one. Beautiful Mediterranean game. The matchups in this one, we do have a slight difference here. We've got ourselves the Ra here for DoD Fox. Instead, for Fade 2, they've got Gaia here. So both teams going with the Zeus Hades, which makes a lot of sense here. But we're seeing a Gaia instead and a Ra over here. So a really interesting one from Fox. I'm not sure what the idea with Ra is on Mediterranean. There isn't any significant advantage for Ra over, say, some of the other Egyptians here, as players are going to start advancing through to the classical age, as we see Shelty already advancing up through Athena incredibly fast here, actually. Now, normally you do want to get yourself 9 fishing ship and then advance, as you can start seeing Gold Lion and Player both advancing through Athena. We see the Oceanus coming through now for Squash here, as well as all of the other Athenas coming through. And Fox, on the other hand, he still has not built his temple. Incredibly late here. He might be going for like a triple dock or something, doing something very, or quadruple dock. There's 5 docks over there, so doing something very strange here. There's no ceasefire, so a super late advance from Fox. We'll see how it's going to work. Running out of herdables here, so he has to move over here onto this hump. This could be, or this food I should say, this could be a very difficult situation that he's going to have to deal with moving forward here, as we do see the docks coming up now for Gold Lion, as well as everyone's just about to advance. There's the tar coming through, a very late advance from Fox. We'll see what DoD's response is going to be with this knowledge now that they're going to be going up super late. But we are now starting to see some triremes coming out for Shelty. It might be best to just sit back at this point, as we are seeing the Katoskopos is scouting around. If we take a good look at the weak point in Squash's base, He's got this gold mine over here, which is very, very abusable here, as we do see the Minotaur going to be moving forward now for Shelty. We don't see any heroes coming out for Shelty just yet to put any early pressure on, but he's already got himself 4 triremes as the Bareems are going to start pushing out for Squash. He's got to be a little bit careful with this early aggression, though he does have a Caladria to heal up his Bareems if he gets in and gets just a little bit of damage done, as we do see the units pushing through. A little bit of micro there as the Servant's going to be pulling back. Nice play there by Shelty, gets a couple of shots off, pulls back nicely. We are now starting to see the trireme coming through for Gold Lion, as there is Fox's advance as the fishing ships getting pulled back into their docks. There are so many docks up for Fox. We should be able to produce all of his ships incredibly quickly here, as we do see the units now pushing in onto Shelty's base, as that Carnivora does manage to hit 1 trireme there. Nice play there by Squash, managing to make that work, as the Servant does get taken down. Bolt coming down onto that Carnivora immediately there, as the Caladria there trying to tank a little bit of that damage there, as we're now starting to see Scardy come over onto this position to help defend. Nice micro there by Squash, trying to take down this trireme, though he's almost losing some of his own Bareems, as there he goes, retreating back as Scardy comes in onto the action. But Fox still in a very, very difficult position here. Scardy losing a handful of fishing ships now, as the cabinets are going to start popping out here to try and take out Gold Line, as Gold Line's in a bit of a rough position, going to be retreating away, and he's going to be completely fine moving forward now, as the trireme are simply just going to be sitting here for the time being, trying to work out what's going on as the unit's starting to push through. If we move over here and check out what's happening on this location, player does get the first headbutt onto that one, which is going to be really, really huge, which means basically the Minotaur there of Scardy will have to retreat back, but Shelty going to be moving forward with his own Minotaur in onto that position there, as Scardy here and Shelty really playing this one nicely at this point, as Fade 2 retreating back on this position over here. Beautiful concave now by Scardy. The micro is everything in these fights moving forward. Fox still on the back foot over on the other side over here. He's trying to defend as best as he can, but Gold Line's just got such a huge advantage moving forward. There's this restoration onto this position over here, as Scardy and Player both throwing theirs down. Gold Line still has a restoration, so too does Shelty, as Squash going to be retreating back. Player says time to retreat back as well, but Gold Lion very greedily here, using that restoration here over onto Fox as he's trying to find a bit of an advantage over here, but Fox is defending this one really, really nicely. He is losing a handful of cabinets as he's attempting to hold on this position over here. Fox trying to pump out everything that he possibly can. We do see a bolt coming down onto that Minotaur over there to stop that pressure from happening here in this one, as Squash doing his best to try and hold on over here. So we do see a beautiful Carnivora spot over onto this position, as Shelty is going to be clicking his restoration, trying to get his boats back up to full HP, as Scardy going to be pushing forward really, really nicely here, taking out that Carnivora, and Squash now on the back foot. Same too with Player over here, kind of just still trying to defend, allowing Gold Lion to get as much of an advantage on this position as he possibly can. But there are a lot of docks here for Fox to help defend. Fox with a bit of a misclick there, though. He's in a very, very difficult position. There's a huge amount of advantage here for Gold Lion moving forward, as we see Shadoof being clicked there by Fox, as he's like, it's time to give up on water. It is super early to be giving up on water moving forward here in this game, as we see Scardy and Shelty still trying to push in onto players, or onto Fade 2's base here, but both Player and Squash defending this one incredibly nicely. Beautiful micro coming forward here in this game, as these players trying to break through on this position as best as they possibly can, and they're doing a fantastic job of it. But both players microing just out of this world, but now Gold Line swinging around the back, and that means DoD need to make a break for it here, ladies and gentlemen. Shelty said that he would have to pause about 10 minutes into this game. It's 8 minutes and 39 seconds into this game, so that's how things are gonna happen here, as we're gonna have to wait and see what ends up happening in this water. Fade to have got a significant advantage going forward here, because Fox is so far behind. In the end here, not sure what went wrong with Fox's build here on Metatrain. He did go for the extra fishing spots, so you can see he's got himself the 2 fishing spots over there, 3 over here, 3 over here, 3 over here, plus the extra fishing ship here. So he did go for extra fish, which does mean that he's just not going to be able to get that production out on his cabinets. Now, honestly, if we talk about what could have been happening here, is if Fox had went set or Fox had went Isis and had access to Anubis here, you can actually find that the Anubis is enough to actually hold for the early stages of the game against a Greek player with Egyptian, because you just use the snakes in a defensive position and it forces the Greek player back. And in the end, when you have an Egyptian on your team on Mediterranean, you're really just playing to not lose the water and allowing the Egyptian player to get an advantage by getting their second town center at some point here, as Shelty does return to his computer after whatever he needed to get done is done. And he says go, and the Fade 2 team are going to be trying to wait just a little bit to sort this one out. So we'll see how that's all going to go. As player says, yep, let's get it happening here. As Shelty retreating back, we see the squash units trying to chase down Shelty here as Goldline has come through. We are seeing those trireme of Skadi moving around the base here. Going to give Fox just a little bit of time here to regroup himself as the Squash is now going to be able to push in and take Shelty out. We are now starting to see town centers getting dropped by Squash over here as the Minotaur does get taken down on that position over here. The Doskopos scouting around. We see Goldline going to be dropping the town center. As soon as you get an advantage on Mediterranean, drop your town centers. Fade 2 knows this better than anyone else here, as Shelty trying to defend over here, but he just does not have that many ships. We do see Skadi coming in here to help out, but players still got plenty of archer ships on this location over here, as we do see the cabinets trying to snipe down some of those fishing ships, but Goldline does catch them out. Fox is still in a rough position. He's trying to get this town center up over here, as we see the Ajax going to be coming through, as we do see the Fox Pharaoh gets pulled back ever so slightly. We'll be able to take out that Minotaur, as we do see the Chiron coming through here. Nice micro by Fox trying to get this town center up, as the Chiron going to be trying to target down the Pharaoh, as we do see a shifting sands having to get dropped in over here as the Goldline is about to be expired. A beautiful play there by Goldline to force that kind of defensive maneuver there, as Plow and Husbandry coming through for Fox. Fox is going full send on the farms, and hopefully DoD is going to be able to utilize the rain for all of their players. If you're currently Fox here, you have to send some villagers over here and build farms for your partners, given that you're giving up on that water there. It makes the most sense. And then use the rain here to get a bunch of advantages here, as we see the double town centers coming down for Shelty, as we do see the Oracle of Squash trying to defend this one, as Shelty comes through with his Chiron here, as the villagers should get back onto this location very, very simply here, as we see a counter barracks coming down, a military barracks coming down. Fox casting his rain over here, as the trireme still retreating around the map. We see the fishing ships getting taken out here, as Shelty's back town center is now up. Fox's rain is down. He's got tons of farms here, 10 farms over here, and we've also got 18 farms on this position over on this location. So he's going to have tons of food coming through very, very fast here, as we do see Skadi attempting to defend this to the best of his ability. Beautiful micro over here, playing not paying attention here at this point, but his trireme does get taken down, and Skadi might actually be able to hold here and continue to fish for just a little bit longer, as the town centers are starting to come up here. Player's got both of his town centers up, 3 town centers for player, 3 town centers for Goldline, 2 town centers for Squash, as he's going to be getting this one up as well. However, is this town center going to be able to get up or not, as the Mermillo pushing in onto this position over here, as it seems to me that the heroes are just simply not enough here. Just get one Mermillo going down, the villagers getting taken down, the Lion coming in to help out, the Carnivora getting dropped down, and Shelty has to pull away here. Beautiful, beautiful play here by Squash moving forward, as he manages to force Shelty back into his base here, and that town center is gone. Not only that, we will be able to see a citizen here for Squash after he gets this one move forward and drop buildings down here to completely secure that town center coming forward, as both the heroes about to get taken out here. Moving in onto the next stage of the game, we're seeing Fox now advancing through Hathor, going to be the first one to hit that next age, as Goldline trying to prevent all of the fishing economy happening here, as well as Skadi moving over here, going to attempt to take this fight even more. We are starting to see Apollo coming through for Goldline, as we also see some upgrades coming through on the economic guild here for Squash, trying to get his economy going incredibly well moving forward here. As now we're going to start seeing Squash looking for some raids. There is a very, very juicy raiding spot up on this location. In fact, checking out that gold mine, he's most likely going to be spotting those villages there as well. It's obvious that's where he is going, as player is also going to be looking to move over onto that location. We see some villagers getting pulled off of the food over here. We got ourselves a stable and archery range getting dropped down, but the raid is coming in and Shelty is in some incredibly difficult position here. Beautiful micro there by Squash as he completely cuts off the villagers on their retreat path here as they're trying to come back in onto that town center. Loses 5 villagers also there as the villagers run into that town center there. The villagers moving over onto the corner here, but Squash has a very keen eye. Will he be able to spot it here as the villagers making a retreat around this location here? Squash is going to be pulling his Terma back and he sees the villagers retreating here. Squash coming over here with the rest of his units. Going to be taking these guys out over here. Doesn't quite get onto the front of them as Shelty is going to be making his way back into his home base here. Maybe losing 1 or 2 villagers there. Nice retreat there from Shelty, able to survive a little bit longer here as the fighting continuing over here as Skadi continuing to distract on that location over here. We see Golden Lions units getting pushed back. Skadi's in the pocket in this game. Everything is on Skadi here to make something happen as Shelty is in a very, very difficult position moving forward here. Not only that, we are now starting to see Fox getting going here, but Gold Lion is so far in front over here. We see a huge Locust getting dropped onto this position here to take out some of those farms over there. Whether that's worth it or not remains to be seen, as we're starting to see some siege towers coming out for Fox. He's going to attempt to put a big timing in onto this position here, though I don't know if it's going to work that well because Hephaestus is on the way already for Gold Lion. He is so big moving forward as this town center is now coming up for Squash, going up to 4 town centers here. On this position, we are seeing villagers having to get pulled here to take down those heroes as players being incredibly annoying with those. There is an Apollo just about to pop, so we can see this attack moving onto this location over here to hit the gold on the back of Shelty and maybe even get a complete gold starve here as the units of Shelty popping out here trying to take down the Jason and everything else over here as Odysseus about to go down on this position here as more units flowing in onto this position here as player is starting to get something going to try and take out Shelty in this game here. However, the attack is starting to mount here for Fox. He's in an incredibly strong position given his unity. He needs to bring that Pharaoh into the fight here as he's actually utilizing it on the Migdol stronghold, which would be actually really good here, but it looks like it's kind of attacking the stable to some degree, but taking out that Manticore will be a big help as now the stable's going to be going down. Apollo's coming through for Skadi and for Shelty moving forward, but Hephaestus is just about to pop. We see a fortress coming up. Gold Lion on the back foot ever so slightly as he's trying to pump out as many units as he possibly can to defend this one as the siege towers are going to be taking that down as best as they possibly can as these units are still searching around the map here looking for something to take out. We're now starting to see the raids moving around here by Squash. He's looking for a certain position to underworld most likely here, or just scouting out, seeing exactly what is the go in the main bases over here as more units are pushing through on this position over here. We do see the Plenty Vault getting dropped there by Gold Line. A bit of a weird position there. That could be a bit of a liability moving forward in this game, but now we're going to start seeing immediately we've got a Petropolis coming out, but probably going to be able to start seeing those Heliopoli coming out to defend this position here as the siege towers rolling back. We see Squash moving over here. There is going to be a beautiful underworld, a brutal underworld onto this position is possible here to take out Fox's back position here. As Squash is just full send on the front, take out the military academy, do everything he possibly can here as the units retreating away. Military academy just about to drop as the Arcus are just able to do so much controlling here to sit on this position here. Hephaestus now coming through for Skadi, but Hephaestus is also coming through for player. Shelty is incredibly far behind in terms of his tech. He's in the heroic age right now, but he's probably got no resources left, trying to hold here as best as he possibly can moving forward as military buildings are going to be falling and everything else. So it does look like now DoD Fox is on the back foot as Gold Lion is so absurdly far ahead in this game. Champion Toxo is already up our Petropolis, taking down this McDowell stronghold, abusing this wood line over here. The siege works are getting taken down as the units over here getting cleaned up as well. The siege towers are on this location. McDowell stronghold trying to get thrown down over here, as we do see the Plenty Vault getting dropped by player. Moving in onto this one, we still have the Chiron over here. The units looking for raids over here as the villagers getting pushed off of this gold mine. We see Scardy coming back over here. The market is up, going to attempt to start some sort of trade route over here, as Squash is getting all of his units out. He still looks like he's only in the heroic age. He's just getting every single upgrade, playing it really nice and slow here. Osiris on the way now for Fox, but it may be too little, too late here in this game, as Gastrofides are coming through here for Goldline. He's already got himself burning pitch, ladies and gentlemen. That's an extra 600% bonus damage against the town center here. Moving forward, as those Petropoli are going to be taking down this fortified town center immediately here, as Fox is so far behind, and there's the Underworld coming through onto this position, and as Scardy is trying to take this one out over here. We do see a cheeky wall getting dropped over here as Scardy drops in with the transport ship really, really early here, trying to take down this town center. He's got a whole bunch of those Zeus hoplites to kill off players. Town center in the back here. Where is the blue? Where are the purple units though? Is the big question here, as he's spread out all onto this position. We do see the Underworld coming through here for Goldline, as he's going to be moving over here, trying to take out the Underworld passage. He brings in the Petropolis here to destroy this Underworld passage, as the army here for Scardy going to be getting pulled off of this location here. The Gastrophedes are here to take this one out, as Goldline is going to come in to try and defend this. Tons of units here for Scardy to put some real good pressure on, but is this going to be enough here to take the Underworld down by Goldline or not? I'm not sure exactly what's the go here, as player taking everything. What is he really doing here in this game? I don't see where his units are at this point. He's got tons of economy, but we are seeing that now Shelty is getting absolutely carved up here on this location here, as Squash is so absurdly far in front of him, as well as it looks like this town center might be able to go up. And in that moment, Scardy does decide that the game is done, as Fade 2 manages to take first game in this series here. A beautiful, beautiful showing here by Fade 2. You got to ask your question here. What was Fox thinking there with that Ra pick on Mediterranean? It's not that Ra is necessarily a bad pick here, but with that build, going for a 5:15 advance or a 5-minute advance for 5 docks, simply put, too slow, and you just get too much pressure put onto you. You can't get your boats out fast enough, and you just couldn't get a footing on the water early, which really, really put DoD behind. And once Fade 2 is ahead, they're not letting you back into the game, and they get the first dub. I don't know what else to say, guys. If you guys enjoying this one, enjoying this series, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.